Hello and welcome to Kitty Talks. We have an exciting show lined up for you this week.
We have an amazing fashion segment with Huma Saeed. We're actually all wearing her outfits right now, which is great.
We also have Pierre Chen on the show talking about Chinese medicine and some really some medicinal teas.
Yes,
So
and
that
a
should be
lot
fun.
more to it as well. But we'll jump right into the discussion. This week we're going to be talking about a hashtag that's really taken the online world by storm. And this story is really about turning the negative into something more empowering. The hashtag curry scented BITCH, I'm not going to say the word, but you get the hang of it. But that was slurred out by an American artist and directed to Zayn Malik. This hashtag really took South Asians, they took it at heart, and the racial slur became the reason for people to feel empowered.
So what Azealia Banks did was she sent out a tweet to Zayn Malik, pretty much calling him a Punjab, and used that in a negative way.
Yeah, exactly.
First of all, that was wrong. And then she goes on to saying that, yeah, he's curry scented, you know, blah, blah, blah. And from that, what the community took from that was like, hey, you can't just go around saying things like that. And they turned it into more of a positive thing by the hashtag curry scented bitch.
Yeah.
So, I
Exactly.
mean, obviously there's a pro and a con to this, like using that word isn't the best way to empower people, but I think in this particular situation, I actually found it great because now you see all these South Asian women coming together being like, you know what, no, like I'm proud to be Punjabi, I'm proud to be Indian, this is my heritage, so don't call me like someone that smells like curry. Hey, for one thing, curry smells great. I love curry.
Exactly. And these are beautiful looking women, so.
Yeah.
And you know what, at the end of the day, I disagree with one element of what you're saying. I think that certainly what happened was not appropriate. I mean, look at where we're at in life and look at what we're accomplishing and look at what we've done, and it's multicultural, and to even sort of have this kind of mindset is quite frankly very small when it comes to this rapper. Having said that, I think the response from the community in terms of coming together, that's a positive. How that response was actually put out there, like the curry scented bitch piece, I think it could have been done a little bit more productively. You know, sort of throwing it out there, curry scented brown power. I don't know, but you know, I just don't think a negative and a negative is the way to do it. I think at the end of the day, someone's, you know, it's that whole thing where if someone's doing something bad to you, you know, you should react positively, and hopefully they will recognize their actions or the misdeeds.
Yeah.
But to turn around and make that such a negative thing and to use that word, because that's a negative connotation.
I see what you're saying, but I feel like in this context, that word needed to be used just to be like, hey, you can't just go around talking crap about people, especially when you appropriate our culture in your music videos.
You can still do the same
Exactly.
thing. You can still do the same thing, but you can do it in a positive manner. You don't have to sort of mimic her behavior in order to get a message across.
And you know what? That's the world we live in, that negative comments get so much more media, and they get so much weight.
Well, that's the thing.
And we really want the positive to come out and the goodness in people to be fostered, but it's really sad to see that there's a lot of negative comments and negative tweets out there, which people think it's okay to share with the world.
Well, I think it's positive in the sense that communities gathered together and said, this is not okay, and we're going to be vocal about it.
Yeah.
My personal opinion is that I think it could have been said differently and had the same sort of message.
But would it have the same impact?
Why not?
If they used another word instead of bitch, do you think it would have caused this much stir and this much social media interaction?
I do think so, because I think what it is it's their strength in numbers. And I think if everyone sort of had that collective positive sort of
but they might not
piece,
have come. They might have been like, it might not have been a provoking enough hashtag for people to actually join and jump the
but you don't
bandwagon.
have to be provoking to get the message across. And I think that that's something that I don't agree with.
With the world so crowded and there's so many messages out there, I think there's like, it has to be something which gets people going. It was like, oh, you said that to me, I'm coming back.
Because it kind of angers and fuels you, right?
I'm going to turn it around.
Yeah.
But the fact is that she did apologize later in a sort of way, that she said, oh, we're all people of color. So she does wear bindis
For publicity. Who does that? I don't think she actually meant the apology.
And I don't think so either.
Yeah,
I think
but with
it
a
was
huge
done.
backlash, then she'll definitely consider her words, that she's definitely not, it's not okay. And it's totally cool to be brown. It's totally cool to be having curry, and South Asian people are beautiful. So she's definitely learned
That's
that
what I'm
lesson.
having for dinner tonight. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like curry?
See, it's not about the curry. It's about it's about the type of hatred that she put out there.
Yeah.
And I think curry is just symbolic.
Anyone.
Curry is symbolic. At the end of the day, it's what's in her, and that came out in that, using curry as that context. So I think that's something that's really disappointing to see today.
And there are people like that. There will be negative
Sure.
people, and I think she's probably got her little bit of her peace of mind with this community coming forward. So that was something that we all saw recently. But there's lots more coming on the show, lots more exciting stuff. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
This one's honey processed licorice.
Oh, okay.
It's a root, and what they do is they cook it in honey. So outside it's all coated with honey. You don't really need to swallow. You don't swallow the.
Oh, okay, okay.
Instead of fighting with your hair, you can use a product like this. It's a beach wave.
Oh, I love that
Loose.
look.
Exactly.
I love beachy. Like beachy hair, you just came back from vacation.
Right.
All the time.
Exactly.
Because it is super comfortable,
Sure.
and you can just walk into any meeting or an open house.
An open house.
Courtroom.
I wouldn't wear this in a courtroom, but definitely for a work meeting, this is great.
So now we're on the phone with Saima Jamal, who is telling us about the Syrian support group in Calgary, who is doing tremendous work to show their support towards the Fort McMurray fire affected families. Saima, welcome to Kitty Talk.
Hi, hello ladies. Thank you for having me from Calgary.
So tell us a little bit about what you're doing right now with the new Syrian refugees that have migrated to Canada.
Well, for the last 7 months, we have been doing everything in welcoming these Syrian refugees to Calgary. Everything from airport welcomes when they were arriving here to making sure that the government settlement workers have all the support they need in settling them in Calgary. And these are as simple as emotional support. These are as simple as taking them to all their appointments, their doctors, dentists. What do you pack kids for lunch in Canada? The idea that, kids need indoor shoes and outdoor shoes. The fact that, in Canada you need everything in the household, like a microwave, a vacuum, carpets, heaters, all of these things. So we've been basically furnishing their whole house. And after we finish doing all of that, we're right now focusing on their jobs, on making sure that they learn English, on making sure that they lead healthy lifestyles.
You've done extremely great work with your teammates, but we do want to touch upon the current situation. The Syrian refugees are the ones that they can completely relate to the displacement that's happening with the Fort McMurray fires on such a large scale and so many families getting displaced. And you've raised about $2,000 or more, I understand. Tell us, is there empathy from the Syrian refugees? Because they're already giving back to Canada. It's incredible, the story that you have.
Yes, it's a remarkable phenomenon, honestly. These people, they have so little, and when they saw what's happening to their fellow Albertans in Fort Mac, they took the initiative amongst themselves that, they are ready to donate whatever was donated to them. So that's when we told them, they don't really need furniture or clothing right now. Can you guys raise at least $5 a family?
Wow.
And within a couple of hours, these people just absolutely mobilized themselves and gave $10, $20, to some extent $50 and $70.
Wow.
And that's like their entire grocery money. And just to see that, wow, like we have accepted exactly the right kind of new Canadians in our country. And it just made me so proud that all this work that we did in welcoming them and settling them, it just came full circle. It was all worth it, just seeing how amazing they are and wanting to help the Canadians that's so early in their settlement.
And that's got to be therapeutic as well for them, to be able to, they've certainly seen that connectivity with Canadians when they came here, and to be able to reflect that culture back and to give back. I'm sure that must have been very something very positive for them in terms of them being able to give back.
Sunny, you want to add
Yes.
something?
Oh, that made them feel empowered so much, just to have the ability to give back, and to also not just be seen as upstanding Canadians, but also being seen as real Syrians, because Syrians have a very strong culture of giving back. For 100 years, they have accepted waves of refugees in their own country, and not a single one of those refugees were ever kept in a tent. They were all housed by the Syrians in their own houses.
Wow.
Now that they have become refugees in another country, this is already in their culture, it's already in their DNA. It didn't even take them 2 seconds to have that kick back inside them, that this is now for us to stand up and help Canadians back who have helped us so much in our settlement here.
And when it comes to helping, Saima, we have our audience that's watching. If there's something that they want to do or give something in terms of resources, what is something that your group needs right now, and how can we help?
You know, if there's any way that you want to help Syrian refugees right now, the biggest need for them is laptops. So if anybody has a laptop that is old and that still works, would like to clean it up or buy a laptop for a refugee family, it is huge. Computers, they can't afford any, but they need it for everything in their life. So, and they can definitely ship it off to us. So.
And what about specifically for Fort McMurray and the residents there? Like, have you actually been to the site yourself, and is there anything that we can do to help them as well?
For Fort McMurray, the biggest help right now is cash donation. So the government, the Red Cross, they're all coming together to literally give debit cards and e-transfers to them, so that they have that power to actually go and purchase the exact needs that they need, because they've all lost their jobs over there. Nobody's like allowed back. So if you want to donate to the Red Cross, that would be the best solution right now to help the people of Fort Mac.
For sure. And Saima, have you heard anything back from the people that you've extended your help to at Fort, from the people at Fort McMurray's, the fire? Have you heard anything back?
The response has been like we have never imagined before. We had people that were anti-refugees, that were not very welcoming to these refugees before. We had so many change of hearts after this simple act of kindness. They're not a burden to the society. They're there to help and stand up just like us.
Well, thank you so much, Saima, and good work that you're doing, and please continue the amazing work you're doing. If you'd like to donate to the cause, go to redcross.ca. Thank you so much, and we'll be back after this break. Welcome back. Fashion designer of Nouras Couture, Huma Naseem Sayed, is here with us to show some of her fabulous collection. Welcome to the studio, Huma.
Thank you so much for having me, guys. I'm so excited.
We're excited too, and we want to see the collection, but before that, tell us a little bit about yourself and tell us how Nouras Couture started.
Well, my love for fashion started quite early on. When I was a teenager, I was like everybody else. I would devour fashion magazines whenever I could. But when I went to college, my twin sister and I would spend a lot of time trying to volunteer backstage and you know, the events at the university, especially fashion shows, and that's when our love for fashion began. Later on, I moved into a corporate career, almost like everybody else, and although I had a really successful time at work, I still wasn't able to, you know, express myself in terms of, you know, my fashion and what I enjoyed doing. But when I got married, I then had the opportunity to, you know, leave my career behind and start my dream, actually.
And it's quite relatively new initiative that you've actually started.
Yes, I actually started it in November of last year, and Nouras Couture really took off since then.
Okay, so let's take a look at the collection. We have First Look, and this is being modeled by our fabulous Sunny. Sunny's going to join us later, but right now we have this look. Tell us a little bit about it, Huma.
Well, you can see it's a very classic look. You can see Sunny's wearing it. It's really casual. You can also wear it to work. What I would do is definitely I'd pair this with either a dark wash jean, and if you could even turn it into a pantsuit by putting on a blazer, and it would be perfect for work.
That's great.
And it's got the pearls sewn right into it.
Yeah, so it brings in the little bit of the East and then the West thrown in.
You'll see that a lot of my collection involves an infusion of East meets West, so you'll see very modern silhouettes, but you'll have some form of Eastern influence in my
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, Sunny. You look
Thanks,
fabulous.
Sunny.
And we can't wait to see you in the next look. So there's also a lot of emphasis on the modern day woman because we don't have time. A lot of them are moms. A lot of us are, we have businesses. We're so crunched on time. So your collection kind of focuses on the modern day woman.
Oh yes, definitely. Being a mom myself, I realized that there was this unfortunate divide between comfort and fashion, and I just didn't want any of that. I wanted something that was comfortable but would still be very stylish at the same time, and I didn't want to compromise on that, and that's when I started coming up with really fashionable tops. I do try to take in trends from all over the world and try to bring in influences of different cultures, and I find that really exciting. You'll see that in a lot of my work.
And we're definitely outfitting some of your tops as well.
Yes.
So definitely quite comfortable and really easy to transition, I guess, from day wear to night wear.
Definitely.
well.
I think versatility is also something else that I think about whenever I'm designing. So you'll see that I use a variety of fabrics. As you said, comfort is #1. So you'll see I'll have lots of pure silks. You're wearing a pure satin look, lots of belted tops, and as you'll see on the models as well, they're really, really versatile.
Okay, so let's bring in the second look. We have Sandy, who is modeling this fabulous ensemble. Tell us a little bit about this.
Well, Sandy looks great. She looks like she's ready to go out maybe to the park, to maybe do some reading, or even for a night out. We paired it here with white on white, so it really gives a very fresh and vibrant look, especially for the summer. And yeah, I think that she looks great.
Yeah,
It's
she
great,
does.
and it's great for spring. It's just, you know, sort of
Very
a throw
easy.
and go.
Yeah, you
How
can
would you-
definitely throw it on and just walk out the door.
And how would you accessorize it? Like if I wanted to glam it up, for example, if you're going out in the evening and you still wanted to keep the same dress.
Well, what I would do is I would put a statement necklace, perhaps, and you can see you can also wear them with some vibrant heels. I would also usually use lots of accessories on the arms or even earrings, and it would really dress up the entire outfit.
Some nice clunky jewelry,
Yeah, so
basically.
you'll see how easily you can transition your look just by accessorizing my tops.
Fabulous. Thank you so much, Sandy. You look
Thanks,
great.
Sandy.
Yeah.
Love it.
And in terms of colors, what's hot right now?
Well, the palettes right now, are, especially for fall coming up, we see a lot of gold. So you see gold is all over the runway. And that's one of the looks that we will have Sunny wearing as well. So yeah, what I try to do is not be particular about what's hot on trend, but also things that everyday women like to wear. So,
And we noticed that you've done a lot of the tops. Is there a particular reason why you've chosen to do that?
well, honestly, like I said, being a mom, I don't have time to put on fancy dresses or, you know, put too much thought into my outfit. So I realized that tops are something that are really universal. People of all cultures and all ages, and especially this day and age, want tops to wear every day.
And to be very honest, I have half the wardrobe is something that I can't even wear because I don't have time to iron my previous clothes. So this is great because you can hang them
Exactly.
and just like grab one and go.
You'll see so many of my tops, because of the top quality materials that I use, are really wrinkle-free.
Oh, that's what I was going to ask. Is it wrinkle-free? That's
Yes,
fabulous.
majority of them. Of course, the silks will need a little bit more attention, but that's usually you know, something that's worth your while.
So tell us, Huma, what is that one thing that every girl should have in her wardrobe?
Well, apart from having a lot of the staples, such as very pale colors for springs, I would say that you must have one piece that really expresses your personality.
Fabulous. There's more to look out for, but we're going to take a short break and we'll be right back. And Huma's going to talk more about some of her amazing designs. So stay tuned. If you're just tuning in, up-and-coming fashion designer of Nouras Couture, Huma Naseem Sayed, is here with us to show us her designs. So tell us, Huma, you have your next piece. Sunny, if you don't mind showing us what the next one looks like.
I don't mind at all.
And then you can stay with us for a little longer. Tell us about this one. This is so cute.
Well, I think Sunny looks fabulous. This
She
outfit is 100% pure silk. And I really elevated the fabric by adding an electric blue lining and ribbon. And you can also see the wonderful buttons I have down front to add a little bit of bling. This is perfect, I would say, for a night out or even a busy day at work, I'd say, just to, to bring in some fun to your day at work.
And you can definitely wear this to work because it is super comfortable.
For sure.
And you can just walk into any meeting or an open house.
A
courtroom.
Exactly.
I wouldn't wear this in a courtroom, but definitely for a work meeting, this is great.
It's perfect and
This
it's
is great.
comfortable.
Okay.
So, this is
Stay.
awesome. Stay.
I'm so glad we were like, our team is complete now.
So, Huma, I need to know, as a South Asian designer, there is a lot of challenges that come in the market. Like, what do you do to go about that? And have you gone through any personal challenges?
Yes, definitely. Starting your own business is a challenge in itself.
Yeah.
Adding to that a little bit more of the cultural aspects, people expecting that you're making traditional clothing, and that's something that I had to fight against. That's why I went straight into modern clothing. So you'll see that, yes, there is an Eastern influence, but it's definitely something that people of all cultures can tap into and wear and really enjoy.
Great.
So yeah, starting my business was difficult. Obviously, taking the first step is the hardest bit. But when you're surrounded by supportive family, and I must give a shout out to my husband who was really there for me
He's
when
here
it
as
came
well.
to help me out when you have a child. It's really challenging to find the time to really put in the effort and the time that is required of starting a business.
And it's really interesting in terms of the time when you've started this. You've just had a newborn, and it's now you're sort of launched this career at this time period. Usually this is the time period where women slow down, kind of sort of take their time to self-reflect, but this is when you've started this new venture. So tell us about that mindset.
Exactly, and that just comes to show that your baby can be your biggest inspiration, and that's when you feel that you can do so much more to show your child what you're capable of.
Oh,
that's fantastic.
wonderful. And we have one last look. So come on over, Sandy. We're anxious to see what you got. Oh, great. So this is very summery.
So yeah, Sandy's wearing another summer staple, and this top here is a paisley design. I love the blue and the white. It's a very classic color combination, but as you can see, I've made it a bit more exciting with tassels around the neckline, and you can see it's slightly pleated on the sleeves. So I think our model can tell us herself how comfortable it is to wear.
It looks very comfortable, actually.
And it seems like the type of clothing you have, it's good for the sort of the Indian body.
Oh yeah,
right?
for sure. I don't limit myself to a particular body types or silhouettes, and that's why you'll find a big range from form-fitting dresses. A lot of my long tops can be worn as dresses as well. You can also pair some of my net clothing with crop tops, so you can really change and transform a look with the pieces that you wear with it.
And because you have the comfort factor, it's great in terms of the different types of body styles and whatnot to really play with that.
Well, thank you, Sandy. You look
Wonderful.
fabulous. I think you're going to want to stay in the dress for a little bit.
Exactly.
Also, Huma, we want to know in terms of what are some of your hottest selling items?
Well, some of my hottest selling items did surprise me because I'm just starting out. I realized that women really aren't afraid to try different colors and different combinations. Things that are very loose fitting, things that you can just throw on, like I said, majority of my collection. I would also say some of the pullovers that one of the models also had on, that was also a really big hot seller. Other than that, my original collection had some embroidered work as well. Unfortunately, all of that is sold out, so I didn't have any for you today. So yeah, that's what has been selling really well at Nouras Couture.
And how quickly are you able to replace inventory? Like how quickly, if someone wants to order a piece and it's sold out, would that be made available?
Well, one of the points about my collection is that we have very limited stock, and I think that adds to the idea that it's to the demand and to the idea that it's a novelty piece. You won't find any other woman wearing the same outfit as you.
One of a kind.
Exactly. So I do replenish my inventory twice in the year with the spring and then the fall season. So that's why you should get your hands on them as fast as you can.
For sure.
Huma, when it comes to the community in general, especially the South Asian community, what have you sensed from them? Like, what are they taking away from this?
Well, a lot of the women have been praising me in terms of the quality that I use, because at the price points that I provide my materials, you won't find, especially in North America. Other than that, I've realized that a lot of the women are really excited that it's tops and it's something that you can wear in the West really comfortably and still feel like you have a piece of home on you.
Wonderful. Well, you're doing a fabulous job bringing the two cultures together and providing a sense, a style of fashion which works for the modern day South Asian woman. So congratulations on that, and we
Thank you
definitely
so
wish you
much.
the very best, Huma.
Really appreciate it, and good luck to you all. I love your show.
Thank you, and thanks for providing these fabulous dresses.
Enjoy.
We're styling them today. So we have Husi Hudi, she'll be joining us. Sorry, we have Husi Hudi. So, sorry, one more time. So we have great tips for how to get your hair ready for the hot summer season. So welcome to the studio again, Husi.
Thank you for having me.
So tell us, the hair have gone through so much over the dry winter months, and
Right.
and now for the summer we want to go out, we want to flaunt our hair and make them look so nice and breezy and so effortless. How do we get them just the base right?
Okay, so first and foremost, now's a good time to book an appointment with your hairstylist before you do anything or buy anything, and say, you know, okay, these are my goals for the summer, these are my challenges that I have with my hair, whether it be hair looking dry or frizzy. I mean, with humidity in the GTA, it's pretty tough. So you want to talk to your stylist, talk about maybe changing your color, your cut, right?
What works for you.
What works for you. And then you just go from there, right?
And one of the biggest things that people don't want to do, but they need to do, is get a trim.
Right.
Right. So, I mean, all four of us have long hair. I know I don't want anyone touching my hair. I know all you ladies are like that too. But it's actually better for you if you get the trim. It actually creates health. Am I right?
Absolutely. So when your hair's dry at the ends, it doesn't look healthy. It's not going to be shiny, and we all associate beautiful hair with shine, right? And so getting a trim is a good way to pick things up. I mean, you can also change your color if you need a change and you don't want to necessarily lose length. You can always change your color as well.
How damaging is that? Sorry, but I'm curious to know, how damaging is that? Because people are scared to get color. Like, roots are one thing, but full color, isn't that bad for your hair?
No, it depends on, you know, how drastic you want to go. Like, I mean, for you ladies, your hair is quite dark, myself as well. If you wanted to go overnight blonde,
That's drastic.
That's kind of drastic and can be very stressful for the hair. But I mean, that's why you need to, you know, talk to your professional, like your hairstylist, and they can come up with a plan for
And how you take care of it as well after, right?
Right, exactly.
So we
it's
shouldn't
all
go
like,
Kim Kardashian blonde.
well, I mean, if you have an entourage of people taking care of your hair every day, by all means, right?
Otherwise, no. True. So when it comes to hair, like personally, I know in the summer my hair turns into an afro when I walk outside, because it's just so poofy and frizzy and it gets really crazy.
Right.
So with people like with hair like that, what can you do as like a quick fix? So as soon as I'm leaving the house, I can apply something and it will be nice and just manageable.
Okay, so a quick fix would be like hair serums, oils like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, when it comes to humidity, it's kind of like a catch-22, right? Because
You don't want it flat.
you don't want it flat, but then at the end of the day, there's not much that you can do to stop frizz.
There are products out there, though, that you can put that can
Right.
control the frizz.
Right.
What do you think about that?
There are some, but I mean, depending on how humid it is, right? Like
Yeah.
even when you go on vacation, like you can't really beat the humidity.
Yeah.
There are products though that you can get, like services done in the salon, like the keratherapy smoothing treatments. They're amazing. I actually used it recently on vacation. It was the first time I loved my hair.
Oh
on
wow, a
vacation.
hairstyle saying that? That's
Yeah.
like, okay, we gotta try this one.
Right, because usually my hair's pulled back in a ponytail, my natural curl comes out. My hair did not move.
Oh,
So we
okay.
can
So
use
what do you
this,
recommend?
like can we use these products here for that as
Right,
well?
so you have the keratherapy, that's an in-salon treatment, and that's like a couple of hours in the salon getting it done, and a few $100s for that. There's an express treatment, which is half the time, half the cost, but doesn't last as long, right? But still gives you that nice, smooth hair, right? So you can also embrace your natural wave, right? So instead of fighting with your hair.
Yeah, we've been fighting for my hair and me
Right?
have been fighting for a long time. So what do you recommend?
Okay, so what you can do is you can use a product like this. It's a beach wave.
Oh, I love that
Mousse,
look. I love
exactly.
beachy, like beachy hair. You just came back from vacation,
Right.
all the time.
Exactly.
So how do you do that? Like, how do you get that?
So you would apply it to damp hair, and then you would just kind of scrunch with a dryer or like in a diffuser, and then you just embrace your natural wave,
I like
right?
that.
Instead of fighting it.
And
Right.
like you were mentioning before, that it's salt-free, which is better. It doesn't dry the hair.
Right, and that one's very special because it is salt-free, which gives you that, like, you know, that feeling of like, it's almost like a dry, dull kind of feeling without the actual dehydration effect of the sea salt.
So what else can we do to our hair to just add, more moisture back? Because in the summer it does get dry, like, or even any natural products that we can use.
Like coconut oil is a big
Yeah.
one, and
South
also
Asian,
almond
yeah.
oil or whatever the case may be. Oils
Right.
are a big thing in these days
Right.
in the community.
Well, those natural oils,
Yeah.
they go such a long way, right? But also, again, when you're combining natural oils with chemical services, sometimes you need like something a little bit more, strong to get the effects that you want.
Anything like any regime, any routine that we need to do before we get ready for the summer?
In the summertime, we tend to change our skincare regime. We tend to change our makeup based on, tanning effects and stuff like that. You can't ignore your hair, right? So if you're going to be swimming, if you're going to be out in a convertible, like with wind damage, you definitely want to use treatments as well.
Yeah, you can't.
Right?
You don't have a sunscreen for the hair, so definitely. you
And
gotta
there are
keep-
sunscreen products for the hair.
Oh,
so
okay,
you
I
have
didn't
to
know.
definitely, keep in mind that the sun damages your hair as well. So you want to try and change your hair care regime to go with the weather.
Okay.
I was going to say,
Those are
speaking
great.
of sunscreen, I sometimes put vitamin E cream in my hair when I do have the flyaway, just a tiny bit, because I put it on my face all the time. So I put it in my hair, and it actually works. Like,
Emollients,
yeah.
right? Anything with an emollient effect is going to help with any kind of frizz. But I don't know how wearable your hair is after that.
Not too much.
I love how she's practical about her tip. Thank you so much, Ruthie. It's always great to have
My
you.
pleasure, my pleasure.
Welcome back to Kitty Talk. Here with us is Director of Canadian College of Traditional Chinese Medicine, Pierre Chen. Pierre, welcome to Kitty Talk.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
And you have with you these fabulous different herbs and that have medicinal properties. Tell us a little bit of background about it.
Well, we are what we eat, right? So everything you put in your mouth affects your body, certain ways. And in Chinese medicine, we believe that herbs can affect your body with the correct diagnosis and the correct herbs. It can help your body to make your life and your standard of living much higher.
So how is this different from pharmaceutical drugs, which I know not a lot of people agree with? So say if you want to make the switch over to traditional Chinese medicine, how would you go about doing that?
Well, actually, that's one of our courses in our school. We make integration of Chinese and Western medicine. So in pharmaceutical drugs, even older drugs, you can see some drugs are extracted from herbs. And they take the active component and use that. We take the natural component. We take it because really these herbs are not just the active component. There's other stuff that helps your absorption and other nutrients in it. So we take the whole plant instead of just that one active component that's good for your body.
Tell us what are some of the common herbs that one can apply, and this is for our audience. What are some of the things that they can pick up from a store and start using right away, which is without a diagnosis?
Yeah, like my story is same as, I guess, similar to your question when you're asking me. When I was young, I always asked, why do people come and get needled and they say thank you to my dad? And because needles hurt, right? Especially when you're a kid, they look at needles.
And when we talk about needles, we're talking about acupuncture.
Yeah, not actual
just
needles.
Acupuncture needles,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
And
So what do we
also, people eat grass and they get better. They come in sick and they eat grass, and I didn't understand the difference at the time.
Yeah.
And so this really intrigued me since I was young. And Chinese herb is so broad. So you have things like, we even use flowers. So over here we have roses,
That smells so
That looks so
good.
pretty.
chrysanthemum, This is really popular in the Western world right now. They call it superfruit, goji berry.
Yes.
And licorice, it's really popular in the Western world as well.
So they try to incorporate it into the products, but these can be had in food or teas or.
So in Chinese medicine, we have our own theory of diagnosis. So I brought these mostly for, it's good for our weather right now, but some of these are for liver. So high stress situations. That's why I brought this formula particularly to share. And essentially most people, because Canadian society is a high stress society, and people live in fast paced world right now.
Can we make a tea out of this right now?
Yeah, let's do that.
Sure, okay. Do it.
So you want to try it? It's
Oh,
really
sure,
simple.
yeah. I would go for. I'm going to use
So
my
we're
hands there.
mixing basically all of them together?
So this one we can mix all these.
We can use.
We can mix these together.
Oh, all of them.
So,
okay. Is that a good quantity or?
Yeah, we kind of weighed it out beforehand.
Oh, okay.
Just a little.
Maybe it'll be enough for all of us.
And that's the other
Yeah.
thing you do when people come and they actually get these herbs. You actually make it as per their needs in terms of their body.
Yeah, dosage is very important too.
Yeah.
Same as Chinese and Western medicine.
Here, while this steeps, if you want to just point us towards what are some of the herbs that we see here, and I know that it's very detailed, but just if you want to quickly tell us
we'll
which
just go
ones
through
we are
these
looking at.
quickly. So I brought two formulas here. These two are common formulas that in Chinese medicine that we use. So one is the 4 items decoction. The other is 4 gentlemen's decoction.
Oh.
So over here, the top 4 here. So you have the ginseng, fuling, and baizhu, and gancao, which is the licorice. So here's your ginseng in English. I think people call it ginseng.
Yeah, and that's easy to find fairly, right? Where can people buy these herbs?
Most herb shops should have them. We have it at our school and clinic as well.
Okay.
These ones, actually, there's a funny story behind it. These ones in China, because they're considered very powerful herb, so they're pretty much over harvested. So there's not a lot in China, and they're very, very expensive.
Oh, okay.
So when Chinese came to Canada, they see there's ginseng all
everywhere.
over. Yeah.
So
I'm like, oh my God, we should ship this back to China and sell.
That's really interesting. Tell us a little bit quickly about this, Pierre.
Yeah, so this is more blood tonifying, so this is very good for women.
What is this?
So you have over here Danggui, Shoudi, Chuanxiong, and Baishao. So these are blood-moving herbs.
Yeah.
This one is a processed herb. So what they do is they take the herb and they process it in steaming and black beans. They would steam it under black beans and then bake it and then re-steam it 9 times.
It looks like a rock, like shungite rock,
Yeah,
right?
here, feel it. It's really
these
soft.
here
So
that
these
are
are
sitting here.
really good. These ones I brought mainly for our weather because right now we're entering summer. So in Chinese medicine, we see our body interaction with summer. So we see that rain, for example, a lot of people feel tired because it's heavy. So we see how weather affects our body.
Is there any herb that we can try directly eat right now, just to get the taste of it?
To get the taste, this one's
Maybe
probably
Sunny,
safe.
if you want
Yeah.
to try it.
This one's honey processed licorice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this one basically it's a root, and what they do is they cook it in honey. So outside it's all coated with honey. You don't really need to swallow. You don't swallow the.
Oh, okay, don't swallow.
Thank you for
Thank
letting
you
me.
so much, Priya. Here, it was a pleasure talking
Thank you.
to you. So that is all for this week, but we did have some interesting guests and a lot of interesting things we learned. So was there a favorite part that you enjoyed?
My favorite part definitely was making the teas with the traditional Chinese medicine. I just love how you can put, different herbs in a pot and it just completely transforms your life.
And has medicinal qualities.
And has medicinal qualities and looks beautiful because the rose petals, everything, it looks so good. And I just want to go and start making my tea collection.
And we
right
did
now.
enjoy it after.
Yeah, it was really good.
Really good.
So good.
I think it's the same. I've got to second that. I think it was awesome to see some of that stuff, but also because I didn't know this when I found out that Pierre Chan was coming on the show. I've actually been treated by his father.
Wow.
So it's like a history of passing on this sort of this
Crazy.
secret.
How was that, getting treated by him?
Amazing, amazing. I mean, you know, we all hear about Ayurvedic and homeopathic and all this stuff. And last year I was having some trouble actually with my lower back, and I was like, what? I'm not of an age where I should be having this, and what's going on?
And it's common,
Yeah, well, you know, it happens, and so you try the usual. I went for a massage, went to my doctor. He's like, I don't know, you know, there's nothing out there. Take Tylenol. And so I ended up going to him. This was actually his father. And I went through the whole diagnosis that he talked about on the show, did the whole sort of
the tongue, sticking at the tongue,
and the pulse and all that. And I actually went through acupuncture, cupping, which is basically they sort of suction sections of your body.
I've always wanted to try that. It looks really cool.
It's it looks cool. It's really not that cool. It's painful. It's painful, and the pain is because they're treating that section. There's a problem there, which is why the pain is there, and they suction it, and then they're trying to get the energy cleared out and whatnot.
And it worked after?
And after a few sessions, 100%. Wow. And I've never had pain again. So I do swear by it. In fact, on occasion, I'm back in his clinic and whatnot. So I was surprised to see him on the show, and certainly he was there with his father learning the trait, and clearly now he's part of the school, so it's really nice to see.
Yes, and my favorite part was talking to Saima from the refugee group, support group, and what I really found like a valuable lesson that I'll take away from today's episode is people who have just migrated to Canada, the Syrian refugees, and there was such a big debate about it. They are giving back, even though they're still settling. They're giving back. They're treating this as their home, and that everybody who's affected by the Fort McMurray fires, who's displaced, they have empathy for that. So I'll be open-eyed, and I'll be kind of taking that as my kind of little learning that there's so much you can do.
It's all about giving back.
Yeah.
That's who we are.
I also love that we learned so many things about treating hair for the summer. I know, you know, we have like the beautiful Indian hair, but it doesn't always come out looking like this first thing in the morning. So I'm glad that Husi came and gave us some tips on how to treat it for, you know, the summer hot weather.
Yeah. Take care of the hair like you take care of your skin.
Exactly.
And it's nice to see, of course, we had the entrepreneur on the show, the mom, who's actually put out a line. So it's very empowering to see that she's done that, and her motivation was from the birth of her daughter.
Which is always lovely to see, like women who, you know, are empowering, they're being entrepreneurs, and that's something we really want to see, especially in the South Asian community. I think it's a beautiful thing to see.
Yeah, and it is really hard. Like, believe me, raising a family and a little one, it's a lot of work. Yeah. But kudos to her that she's doing that, and it is so wonderful to kind of bring all these people together. So that's our episode for this week. We thank you all for watching, and we are always looking to hear from you. We love all the wonderful messages that you write, but do tweet, do write to us on Facebook. We are available at Kitty Talk TV. So thank you very much, and don't forget to tune in next week, and you can catch the episodes online as well. Thanks again for watching. Catch you next week.
Post hair and makeup provided by Beauty Concept by Shirley Wu.